So we proceed to infertility consultants and webinars. A supreme artist, for he colors and shapes so many futures. He also takes pride in refining the skills of his pupils. So a very interesting relationship is there between a teacher and a student. It is mutual, both learn from each other. The teacher refines the skills and the student gives feedback and feed forwards to the student, to the teacher for his betterment. And this is my email ID. You can ask me any questions if you have. Learning then proceeded to paper and cloth, and printed material came into existence. So teaching and learning proceeded with the help of books, journals, and pamphlets. Then came in electronic technology and electronic creation and transfer of data, where fiber optic cables were used to transfer documents, and audio visuals using World Wide Web. Slowly televisions took over and talks and discussions were held on television. Then came in computers for audiovisual teaching. And then seminars. The only technology that was used here is the projector displaying the PowerPoint slides and maybe a laser pointer. Nobody ever thought that it would get better than that. The disadvantage of the seminar was that limited people were being benefited here. I came in internet web with fiber optic cables transmitting the data from one place to another, and within seconds, the data was transmitted from America to Bhubaneswar, from Moradabad to Bhubaneswar. It takes only seconds to transmit the data. So continuing the lineage further, webinars took birth. What is a webinar? Everybody knows how a seminar or a presentation looks like and how it is conducted. On one hand is the presenter, and on the other, the participants who listen and interact with this presenter. This was a seminar. Now imagine a scenario where you are sitting in your home or office and participating in a seminar thousands of miles away, or maybe you are giving a lecture like I'm giving today from Moradabad, which is being listened to hundreds of students around the globe in real time, like the delegates who have logged in. They can hear me, they can see me. They can also see the participants who have gathered there in Bhubaneswar for this webinar. So first time in India, we held it in Moradabad on 19th and 20th March. And that was the first webinar and webcast of any CME and workshop in India. And after 1 month, on 13th and 14th, Apollo held a webinar, but that was also, Apollo did not hold it, but it conducted the webinar held by RCOG UK, and it had charged 12,000 for a 4-day CME. We had a workshop where operative surgeries were performed in TMU in Moradabad, and a webcast was done of a CME, of an operative oncology, which was done in Apollo and transmitted to Moradabad. And that we had webcasted to the whole of the world. On 20th, we had a CME and panel discussions, and talks were held, and it was transmitted to the whole of the world. And we had Dr. Aditya, Dr. Rajkumari, and Dr. Puneet Arora, and Dr. Sini Venugopal, who had come all the way to Moradabad at my request, and I'm thankful to them for that. So it uses modern technologies like internet, computer, speaker, headphone to cut across time, space, and money. This means that neither the speaker nor the participant needs to be physically present, like I'm not there in Bhubaneswar but taking part in your CME. I was there for the lamp lighting, and instead they are connected by internet, like we are connected with internet. And at this, many delegates are connected to this webinar from various regions of the world. There's a lot of echo. Any questions so far? So features of webinar, it is quite different from a Skype chat or a Hangout, because there what happens is only a text chat or an audio-visual chat is possible. But in a webinar, you are able to show your PowerPoint slide presentations like I'm showing today. And another feature is the real-time audio communication by use of headphones and speakers, which I'm using. The presentation activity can be recorded for later use, like I'm doing it today. The presenter can shift the responsibility onto another presenter, like just now Dr. Aditya shifted the responsibility to me, and I'll be shifting the responsibility back to Dr. Aditya after I finish my talk. So the advantages of webinars is it is the disadvantages of a live conference that prompts us to acknowledge the advantages of webinars. So as long as the internet access and a computer, you can interact with people anywhere. Enormous expenses are saved against travel and material cost. When a webinar is used, it is the most cost-effective method of conducting meetings and seminars. Like I did not have to travel to Bhubaneswar for this seminar. And the participants can become a part of the meeting because of features like desktop control and instant polling. The meetings can be conducted and transmitted from 2 to more than 1,000 people anywhere in the world. The meetings can be conducted in real time, and it can be recorded from any point, like I'm recording it today, or later relay. So a webinar has the advantage of being able to be set up in a matter of weeks. I think Dr. Aditya must have required just a week to organize this seminar. In past, a seminar might take months of planning before being carried out. For our fraternity, these presentations also serve the function of keeping us, the professionals, up to date on the latest innovations in our field. A webinar may be easily accessed from a smartphone, tablet, or other electronic devices from the comforts of home and working place. So anyone who's traveling to the venue, if he or she is late, he can access and listen to the webinar through his or her phone. It is multimedia phone. So it is easy to reach your target and audience instantly, efficiently with this online communication tool. It provides a convenient medium for introverts. Experienced and reputed teachers are available to a wider range of audience spread across the globe. For physically handicapped and old-aged doctors, this is the best mode to keep oneself updated comfortably from their home or working place. Invitations, full-time service registrations, and reminders are automatically generated. You don't have to send it every other day for a reminder. They are automatically sent once you organize and set up a webinar. They are easy to set up and host after initial orientation. On-site tech support may not be necessary if you're tech savvy, and free webinar practice sessions may be included in the package deal. Like we had a practice session yesterday. So they are very cheap, but you do have to buy a package 1 month to even if you want to conduct a webinar for just half an hour. If you have 100 attendees, it costs only 7,000 for a 1 month package. If you have 500 attendees, you have to shell out just 13,000 for a month. And if you are expecting 1,000 attendees from around the world to log into your webinar, you require to shell out 19,000. What are the disadvantages of webinars? Here you see pics of hugs and smiles and laughters and dances. That is the dynamic interaction which is missing in this webinar. But in live seminars, you experience them live, and so friendly relations develop at a faster pace in live seminars. Disadvantage of webinars about interaction have been met up by introducing the lifting of hands, the asking of questions through text chats. Also, you can unmute the delegates and they can ask their questions and you can hear the audio and answer them. But the only disadvantage, see, this is a webinar which was held in Moradabad. Here you can see Dr. Nisha Bhatnagar conducting a discussion on infertility, and Dr. Aditya is sitting here, Dr. Rajkumar is sitting here, Dr. Puneet Arora sitting here, and Dr. Sini also there. And this is Dr. Marcus, who had logged in for this panel discussion from Spain. So as far as Dr. Nisha and the panelists sitting here are concerned, they can easily gauge the level of understanding from the expressions sitting of the delegates sitting in the venue. And Dr. Nisha acts as a moderator between Dr. Marcus and the people sitting here. But Dr. Marcus cannot see the expressions of the people sitting here. He is only connected through the web to the moderator, so he can only access Dr. Nisha Bhatnagar. See the convenience. This was wee hours in Spain, 2 to 3 a.m. in Spain, and Dr. Marcus had just got up from his bed and sitting in his family lounge, he had addressed the webinar. So that is the convenience. The technical difficulties, anything which involves technology does have technical difficulties, so does webinars, but with net speed increasing in leaps and bounds, surely we'll be able to overcome these technical difficulties. So webinars can be live webinars like being conducted today, and I'm recording this for a recorded version of webinar which I can relay later. This is a live question answer webinar session which a fertility consultant, Dr. Amin Gorgi, is holding for mothers to be. And I play it for you to listen, and then you can organize such webinars for your clinics, for your patients. So this is how you can organize a webinar for your patients and relay it for your patients. You can also upload such webinars on your own website, and the recorded ones can be seen by your patients at their convenience. Record the versions of the nurses attending your clinic, and they can explain to their patients regarding all the procedures which you are planning for your patient, and the patients can listen to them so that when they come to your clinic, they are well prepared and well versed with the procedures and don't feel uncomfortable when addressed. See, now I'm encountering the technological difficulties. The session has, yes, so it proceeds further. Here you see the infertility consultant making use of a camera, that is a focused use of webinar, can be made for education, for administration, and for training purposes. So for education, you can use it for self-education. You can use it for educating the postgraduates from your own medical college or distant. You can address the students from distant medical colleges through webinars. You can address your staff, nurses, your financial consultants, your legal consultants, and also you can they help in your administration and for your training purposes of your staff, of your patients, and of your fellows attending your clinic for getting fellowship. So this is the advantage of webinars and the use of webinars for fertility consultants. For your staff, for your patients, I've already discussed. It can be used for training and teaching and knowing about the recent advances and to hold workshops to transfer and propagate skills. This I've already talked. You can conduct and participate live webinars like we are doing today, record them and relay them later for your city members, for national conferences and for international conferences. Then you can conduct panel discussions for various complicated issues in infertility for discussion between consultants spread across the globe to come to concrete conclusions, because Dr. Puneet Arora and Dr. Rajkumari had to travel from Delhi all the way to Bhubaneswar. They could have easily logged in from the convenience of their home from Delhi, like I'm logging from Muradabad, and we could have had a very good panel discussion with Dr. Aditya from Bhubaneswar and Dr. Rajkumari and Dr. Puneet from Delhi and me from here. So this is how a panel discussion in a webinar can be conducted. Then you can use webinars for your general body meetings, for your managing committee meetings, of your NIF forum, also for FOXY and other associations, because it is very difficult to travel to Bombay or anywhere where these meetings are held for everyone, and it's not easy traveling, wasting time on traveling. And if they are held through webinars, then imagine logging into the meetings from such a distance just for half an hour, and you are a part of the meeting answering the questions of importance for the association and giving your opinions for or against any decision. So interactive workshops on IUI, IEA, IVF can be held. They can be relayed live through a video session, and a workshop thus transmitted can help so many who have logged in from the comforts of their home in updating themselves on the skills. Then talks can be conducted and relayed. Staff, nurses, legal and financial consultants who are away from the place and who have gone on leave, if you want to call them in a meeting, they can log in through webinars for the meeting, and you can have all your staff from distance also with you. Then for patient education, tutorials, workshop, talk shows for patients can be held, and these are business webinars. This is a website showing webinar schedule to the patients, to the fellows, and you can post such webinars. They can be live or recorded, and anyone who is interested can log in and benefit from them. Here's a nurse addressing the patients on optimizing embryo transfer and 2-week wait, and anyone who listens to her when he comes for the procedure, he's updated on the procedure and doesn't feel afraid of the procedure. Then there are webinar libraries for patients, for delegates, for doctors to update themselves. Then there are classes and webinars for professional training, and you can log in and listen to the webinars and earn credit points. You don't have to go to seminars to get the credit points. You can get it from your home, from your drawing room, from your lounge, from your bed, and earning credit points becomes that easy. Remember how assisted reproductive technologies have developed? Test tube baby Louis Brown was born in 1978, and 40 years down the line, we have 3-parent genetic engineering in 2016. So similarly, chat was introduced in 1980, and we have webinars in 2010, and 40 years down the line, in 2040, we will be seeing this virtual conferences. So you will have virtual venues. You can see that the talks are being held in a venue, and this is a delegate, or you can say a teacher, a faculty walking inside. So all the faculty, all the delegates can walk in from their place of residence directly in a virtual room and benefit from conferences. And they will be called as avatars. So this will be a virtual conference which will be mimicking the real conference. Here is a video showing you the virtual conference. So a faculty is standing here, and she will enter this room and sit on these chairs. She can sit as a delegate on these chairs. She can address and show her PowerPoints on these boards. The delegates can show their participation by clapping, by nodding, and by various expressions are there. I'm not able to play this video, it's probably something wrong. Human teleportation, the future of webinars, where you will see, like suppose I enter this machine for human teleportation, I will be teleported to Bhubaneswar, and you will be seeing me walking on that stage, just like Dr. Aditya, addressing you, and will feel as if Dr. Archana Tandon is there in Bhubaneswar, addressing you with increasing high net speed. And this is all. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Thank you for logging in.
Thank you, ma'am, for connecting to us and talking to us about webinars, enlightening us. Moving on,